Muscle cars in general, I love them. I mean, just nothing like that rumbling V8, just loud, violent, and I love the 67s the most. My name is Steve Yadlovsky. I am currently in the construction industry, and my passion is working on this 67 Camaro. I first discovered my love for muscle cars when my oldest brother Jay got his 91 Z28, and my middle brother Eric, he got his 87 Trans Am, and I just fell in love with the V8 noise, the performance aspect of them. My father also had an 87 Firebird, and yeah, I love them. So my first car was an 89 IROC Z28 Camaro with white, pearl blue racing stripes, 350, it was automatic. It had a couple modifications done to it. The previous owner had put 373 gears in it. He had put shorty headers on there. And then when I got it, I had put MSD ignition on there, nitrous, K&N air filters, kind of just bolt-ons, nothing too crazy with the motor. We took to the drag strip a couple of times, you know, just the regular burnouts, fishtails, you know, definitely got burned them tires a little bit. When I had moved to California, the car sat in New Jersey, and I had to sell it. I couldn't get it out here, but I mean, it was fun while it lasted. What led to this Camaro was I was making enough money doing construction to get back into my passion, which was working on cars. So after stacking away some money, I started looking, and I came across this car, and it was all uphill from there. So this car originally, I believe, was a complete base model V8. It was a 327. I think it had like maybe 210 horse, maybe 230. It was a very bare bones base model V8. So I have literally changed everything on this car. The suspension has all been replaced, brake system all replaced, engine, drivetrain, rear end, damn near every nut and bolt has been replaced on this car. It was always my intention to modify this car to a degree. I had an engine that was already done and built in New Jersey that I had to have shipped out here, so I always knew that I was going to do an engine swap on it. But upon ripping out the old 327 in there, my OCD got the better of me, and I was like, you know what, it'd be a lot easier to get to all the suspension components now, so while the engine's out, I'll tackle the suspension. That led into, oh, well, I might as well do the brakes too. Next thing I know, the front fenders are off, the frame is completely out from underneath the body, and then just whirlwind of just redo everything. The first time it got running, it probably took about, I want to say maybe 2 years to get running, but that's just engine started in the garage. The whole interior wasn't even done yet. So if you want to say on the road driving, that was probably about 3 years. I have lost an insane amount of sleep. I just ran into so many problems. It was a nightmare to work on. So I was like, oh, well, Nightmaro, and figured it could also fit on a license plate, and it's a good name for the car, so Nightmaro it is. The motivation was just driving it, that, you know, working on it for anywhere from 1 to 10 hours a day, every single day. I mean, I could probably count on one hand how many days I skipped, you know, just hours and hours and hours with that end goal of just driving it. You know, feeling the horsepower, being in a vintage car, a Pro Touring car that's got updated everything, but that old style, you cannot replicate it. My wife is extremely supportive. She is over here helping me work on it. I mean, body work. I had her in knee pads and a respirator and a sanding block. She gets down. So she is extremely supportive. Yeah, couldn't ask for anything more in a wife, really. The two things that I would say to anybody that wants to do this is that, for one, it's going to cost a hell of a lot more money than you think it is, and it's also going to take a lot longer than you think. The centerpiece, dude, we didn't really talk about the centerpiece of it. Who has a 69 grill and a 67 Camaro? Nobody.